Go for the eyes, Boo! Go for the eyes! Rusk! Go for the eyes, Boo! Go for the eyes! Rusk! Go for the eyes, Boo! Go for the eyes! Rusk!
Hello everyone and welcome to the stream. I am Razim and this is Fists of Furry Dungeons and Dragons. Tato, if you would be so kind to go with the recap.
Our community grows.
And we have a follow. Thank you very much there, Agospotty.
Okay, am I ready now?
Yes.
Okay, good. You know, this place is really cold. Like, if it's cold for me, I don't even want to know what the other guys are going through. But I was about to learn what this magical globe of water was going to do. But, the god decided, hey, I'm going to send you to my realm for some unknown reason. So I get forcibly summoned along with Turlix to this Shadowfell realm. And it's cold. It's very, very cold. We had to do some trials that were bullshit. We had to... now we have to, like, go 3 days of walking in this horrible, snowy wasteland. We got accosted by a lich that wants us to friggin' weaken the Raven Queen. But, like, I don't want to work for him. Oh, and Lady Kepovilius also wants Zale's contract, which is the reason why we're here. Shenzi also wants his contract. So I guess we're here to negotiate. But I don't think she's gonna negotiate this. All in all, this is really messed up. And I want to be in a warmer place.
All right. So, shall we begin? Last we left off with the... We last had you dealing with a lich of Orcus. You've been approached by Lady Cup of Lilies. And you are still about 2 days away from the palace. What do you do?
I mean, I think the answer is obvious. We're just going to keep going forward until we find this palace.
And is everybody even here?
Yes.
Yeah.
More frozen tail clearly signifies my presence at this location.
We got a blue dude in here, but he's not saying anything.
Saying anything.
There we go. Alright, everybody, if you would be so kind as to start off this evening with your favorite thing ever, Constitution saving throws.
Oh boy.
Nothing says love
remind
like
me.
Constitution throwing from the oven. Yeah.
Did we recover enough in
Tato,
the
that's a
night's
check.
rest we had to not have disadvantage, or did anybody end with that?
Oh my.
You would have recovered a point of exhaustion, but I believe we already applied that.
In that case, if we had it on there, it would apply anyway, so we're all good.
Oh my goodness, where the heck is my thing? We skipped a week and I forget how to play.
Yes, you're right. 3 characters currently show exhaustion. Azeroth has 2 levels.
Alright, I am missing a roll from Azeroth.
Tato did a check, not a save.
Does it really make that much of a difference?
Well, sometimes it does.
In what way?
Well, if you've got proficiency in the saving throw, then you know you get more bonus to it.
Oh, I don't though, so that's okay.
But please do make the saving throw instead.
Right now,
And there can also be conditions that affect saving throws, but not checks, or vice versa, so it is an important distinction.
I didn't hear a yes or a no.
No. Everybody except for Zale gets a point of exhaustion.
Yeah.
Aren't we off to a great start?
Snow cave, and a glorious night's ration. Why are all of you shivering?
I'm pretty sure I had a point of exhaustion, but I lost it.
Yeah, that was the rest we had. Zale had
Yeah,
2, he's
okay.
down to 1.
I'm back to 3, baby. Oh man, I'm rolling in it.
Don't clerics have a spell that prevents, or at least provides bonuses for cold weather conditions?
News to me.
Let me rephrase. In previous editions they have. I'm not sure about 5e. That was a legitimate question.
No phone.
This interruption to the game was brought to you by Azeroth's phone.
Alright.
Yeah, we're all going forward. What now?
Yeah, there's not much else to go with.
Hey, Lady Divine
Well-
Knight, thanks for coming by.
Are the skeletons still following us?
They are still surrounding you, yes.
Surrounding us?
Oh man.
They have always
Gets
been
funner.
surrounding you, just at a distance.
Okay.
You proceed through the frozen landscape. ever making your way towards the peak where the Raven Queen's palace awaits. You see multiple things approach your group during the day, but they are either discouraged or outright killed by the skeletons as you proceed along. Nothing comes to you yourselves.
I was worried about these skeletons. I'm not entirely sure that they're fully going to attack us now.
You're not what?
That the skeletons might have been antagonists or wanting to kill us, but now I'm not so sure they want to.
Well, I mean, they would have had plenty of opportunity to kill you by now.
Anyways, continue.
The rest of the day passes without too much of any real note. Again, the light just kind of winks out. Instead of a steady transition to darkness, it's just suddenly dark.
Huh.
Isn't
Did
the
it
shadow...
just suddenly get colder?
Yes, it would have gotten much colder.
I assume this is an arid environment, which means sun goes away within a minute. We're at nighttime temperatures.
It's not
So I
within a
guess-
minute, it's literally instantaneous. But, yes.
I'm gonna go ahead and make us another shelter.
Give me a
Are you
survival
sure?
check.
I don't think shelter building is the best
Nim
idea.
will aid you, giving you advantage.
Oh, yeah, I should check my stats.
Listen, okay? This is a practice.
Don't say that, because if it rolls good,
Probably should have had you roll in the tower, but you know, that works. Alright, so the shelter is built in about an hour. The floating disc does go along with you. It can't actually go down into the little shelter as before, so you will need to set a guard to watch it if you wish. Or, you know, you can go without the supplies. Either one.
Yeah, no, see, I've met liches before, and they are stealing bastards. I'm not letting them near it.
We had a watch order set last time. Do you want to stick with the same one?
Assuming you remember it, I have no objections.
Yes. That would be Tato first.
Right, I know that your hands are all cold from digging a snail cave, and you're probably shivering, but up top, we'll get the fire going.
The fire does
Yeah.
blaze warmly inside the little, more of a hole in the ground. This time you did think to shore up the path a bit better. I believe you did before, but the little entrance in and out is shored up better this time. And not quite as long. It's a rather short one this time.
Yeah, it's gonna be cramped when we're sleeping together, guys.
I'm fine with that as long as we all get to share our warmth.
Cuddle
may have come out.
puddle!
Yes,
Basically.
cuddle pile!
we're not ready for this.
I'll tend to agree with the chainmail wearing hulking cleric.
Your compliance is not a factor.
Cuddle puddle!
Puddle?
Nim will happily
I
just kind of...
recommend not close proximity to me while sleeping all can be a bit jumpy. And I don't know if any of you know this, but a number of mob blades have certain substances spread across the edge. That would not be nice.
Then just
No.
don't stab anybody. As simple
Well,
as
I
that.
can hardly help it if I'm asleep, can I? I've been told I sleep stab.
Usually in war times, it's best not to be too close to the person, as being taken out in one swoop is not a fun thing.
So is that what the kids are calling it nowadays?
Okay, so Zale gets to sleep towards the top of the hole.
Well, right near the fresh air. Yeah, I like that. I do.
The fire blazes warmly in the center of the little hovel. Nim is happily cuddled up to Shenzi. He grumbles a bit at others, but doesn't protest. Tato, if you would be so kind as to give me a perception check in the tower.
I'm just going up to everybody because I want to eat. Totally not because I like some of these people. No.
Whoop.
Oh, goody.
Oh, wait. I still had the advantage thing typed in. Oops. I'll have to re-roll.
No, there was no advantage on that.
It says there was. It was that it dropped a 9.
That's your survival check. You don't see the perception check because you rolled it in the tower.
Oh, okay, now I understand. I forgot what the tower was for.
I am glad you guys are making use of the hug command. Tato, off in the darkness, you hear a thump in the snow.
Why did I get reset to...
I turn my head towards
Whoops.
the source of the thump.
There's another thump. More akin to a heavy footfall.
Okay, do I see anything?
You do not. Beyond your area of light, it is pretty much pitch black. Also, everyone, do make sure that you are keeping up on your food. Most of you should have rations.
Our illustrious champion returns. Welcome home.
Thank you, Turlix, for that resubscription.
Yay! Yeah, I gotta go get my freaking avatar back.
For rations, I believe we had a steady supply in the pile of supplies, but Zell is still at 4.
There are some supplies, some food. It's basic. The supplies
Let me
aren't.
just clarify. Everybody else has food in the supplies. Zell has been eating his own rations, and I have been keeping track.
Okay.
Elysian would also refrain from actually eating the supplies until he has to. He's currently at 8.
Alright. So at this point, it would be 2 days worth of supply rations. So please subtract those unless you're eating from those that are in the on the floating disc.
Oh, I have to eat them anyway, or they're gonna go bad.
Rations are designed to be a very long-term food.
And in this cold,
Enjoy your stay.
Thank you very much for that follow. I'm sorry, but Owls Ike 812. I'm hoping that's what it is. Thank you for the follow either way, and welcome to the tribe. Go ahead. Whoever was saying something, I don't know. Anyways, rations are designed for long-term use. They can last for at least a year. Anybody there?
Yeah.
Yes, flatbread, dried meats, etc., etc.
The joys of a war ration some may never understand.
I guess mine would be like smoked fish
Yeah, no, that's about right.
or pickled.
I would say
Pickled
heavily
fish,
salted.
yeah.
Smoked, salted, and sun-dried.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Your type
Yeah,
would
the
love the
point
sun.
is that they are, dry.
Fish jerky. Mm-mm-mm.
I'd probably just have regular meat.
That said, we are probably melting snow for water at night. I assume
Please,
that's not
yes.
causing any problems.
Oh, that would not cause any problems. The snow is actually, just plain snow.
No, we are choosing snow from within the igloo cave, not the stuff that's been tramped upon by hundreds of undead feet, rotting and smelling and stinking of cheese.
I don't think cheese is the proper term, but we'll go with it.
Anyways, back
Have you
to...
ever smelled French raclette? I think cheese is the proper term.
You're going into fancy cheeses. I mean, those things were made for the undead. From the undead. I mean, not for. From.
Oh. I have many thoughts, and I do not want to have them anymore.
I assure you, the royals go crazy for necromancer cheese.
We should pass this idea off to the Adventurer Guild, start our own line of cheeses.
I second this motion, this money-making motion.
Anyways, Tato, you do not see anything in the dark.
Can I strike a torch from the supplies?
You do already have at least one torch, I would assume. Sitting and probably kind of stuck into the snow. But yes, there are more torches in the supplies.
Okay, I'll just strike a torch then.
Why strike a torch? I can make light. I can poke
You're
things and
asleep,
make light.
shut up!
Torches also give off heat, which warm hands, which get cold.
Fair argument to you.
Of course, those of us who are actually awesome don't need light anyway, so...
And I will hold my longsword in my other hand.
Alright, so the longsword in the main hand and torch in the offhand.
Yes.
There's another thump from the darkness.
It's that sleep stabbing, isn't it?
And another thump. It is getting closer. But you do not see whatever it is yet.
Can I make another perception check?
I go ahead in the tower.
We made a snow tower.
Just remember, it is it's pretty much pitch black beyond the edge of your light. Another thump and a large wooden leg comes into view.
I like the service. The firewood comes to us.
I'm gonna step towards it, holding my torch up and my sword at the ready.
The light reveals a large animated tree. More of a actual creature. It's with the creaking of wood, its head turns towards you, and it lets out a sigh before taking another step. Not towards you directly, just past you.
I'll just let it pass.
However, you do notice that it is heading direct. Its current path will go straight over the hovel.
Gonna run us over.
Alright. I'm gonna run over to the hovel and just I don't know what I'm gonna do. I wish I had a detour sign on hand.
Well, go ahead and give me a, we'll say an intelligence check. Or a history one.
A detour saving throw.
Using your knowledge of monsters in general, you, and just looking over this creature, you surmise that it may be
None
able
shall
to...
see me. Though my battle cry may give me away.
Don't interrupt. Just continue, please. Maybe able to what?
You were able to surmise that this creature should be able to understand language. You're not sure if it can speak, but it should be able to understand you.
Alright, Tato will try to catch up with the tree ant and say, wait, hold on, can you just divert your
Course.
what's the word? Course just a little bit. I just don't want you walking over my shelter here and collapsing it.
The creature's head turns to you again, and it just pauses there.
Yeah, I just don't want to bury my friends.
After a moment, it slowly turns, creaking of wood, off into another direction.
Tato waves. Thank you, friend.
And proceeds on.
Okay, I get off on this without having to wake up anybody.
Adir had redeemed an influence to turn your torch into a neon light detour sign. But I guess that's no longer needed.
Yeah, no thank you. Honestly, I'm starting to get a little annoyed by just how often the game gets interrupted.
Irony.
Tato, your shift is over. Next up would be Zale.
It is 5 more minutes.
No, get up, go. You gotta go.
Zell offers a one-finger salute, especially for Tato.
I pull Zale's finger and let it just pop like I cracked a knuckle. and then I hand Zale the torch.
That gave me freaking shivers.
Crack.
Zale douses the torch and tosses it back.
Zale, it's your turn.
I don't want that fire, it ruins my night vision.
I'm gonna-
Attracts all the woggly creatures that wants to eat you all.
Can I grab Zale and literally just throw him out of the
He's
shelter?
going. Reminder, out of character reminder, Zale has dark vision. He
Yeah.
sees further than you can with the torch.
Oh, okay. I thought like. Wait, no, it's to keep you warm.
Oh, that'd be
Nim
fun.
will wake up from this interaction and grumbling. He pulls out a. He reaches back into one of his bags and tugs out a purple and blue quilt. Very fancy, very warm. And just kind of lets part of it drop halfway out before laying back down on Shenzi.
Is this the quilt purchased from a pair of Numis brothers?
It is.
Yeah, that would be very comfortable. Perception check, I would assume.
No, it's your passive. It's a small enough place, and passive perception would just let you see it.
Okay.
Unless you've got a minus.
What, you're talking about the quilt or the watch?
Oh, perception. I was talking about the quilt.
No, dark vision can't see color, so he wouldn't know it was purple.
Well, this hovel is lit by a fire.
How about the perception for watch?
Okay. I assume you take the quilt.
No.
No?
Was he offering the quilt? I thought he was... Oh, okay, I thought he was using it for himself. Thank you, but no. Zale will wave distractedly as he wanders out himself. He has winter clothing. He can put his hands into his pockets and stamp about a bit.
It's a little too cold for that, I'm gonna say.
And he can bring his own blankets up.
Okay. You'll want some more warmth than just the warm winter clothing.
Well, I assume we're all going out on watch, draped in every blanket we own.
Well, they also make use of the torch for the extra heat. May not be a whole lot, but, you know, it's something.
Meh.
Anyways.
A prudent choice.
Thank you very much for that follow. Welcome to the tribe, Atsu Koisui. All right. Zale, nothing of particular note happens during your watch. You do notice a raven perched on a tree nearby, just looking at you for about 20 minutes or so before fluttering off back to the palace.
He very visibly ignores it.
And it is Azeroth's turn for watch.
Hoopa. I wonder how I shall handle this event.
Well, will you be lighting the torch again that I believe Zale would have put out?
I would need a torch to stay warm.
Well,
I wonder if I should use an ability, though. It would help stay warm. I mean, it's cold. No, darn it. Never mind. Okay, dokie then. Yep. I will use a torch to help me stay up, to help me out when I'm outside. I'll also be a little bit ingenuitive with something, if you don't mind.
And what would that be?
I wish to cast light upon a few snowballs that I've pre-made and tossed around just to be extra aware of my space.
The snowballs,
you require?
unfortunately, would not hold form well enough for that, but some rocks would work.
There are rocks here? Holy shit. I'm sorry,
Yes.
I just thought it was a vast snowscape, not a actual, like...
A chunk of ice would also work.
Yeah, a chunk of ice. Something that would hold form better than a snowball.
Okay, then. Yeah, okay, I'll go with the rocks and chunks of ice.
Okay.
Something I can at least spread out amongst the area.
Do note that you can only use one light spell at a time.
Hi. Okay, then. Yeah, definitely further out than 20-foot radius of light. Fuck yeah.
Well, it's
Alright.
20 feet of bright light and 20 feet of dim light, so you'll see about 40 feet.
Oh, yeah. And I don't need to be directly in the light. I just wish to see around us to some degree.
Give me a perception check.
Hi. As soon as I figure out how to find it. Oh my god. There we go. Boop.
You hear a skittering off in the, off not too far away. It doesn't take long before a twisted creature kind of scampers out before running off into the distance, back into the darkness.
Normal. Nothing worth alerting anyone for, I suppose.
Nope, nothing else really happens. Elysian!
Yes, my turn.
Yep.
Well, he'd go out and take... I don't think I had low light vision, though, so I think I need the torch.
Elysian, as you
Yeah, I
are
don't-
coming out of the hovel, you were greeted by the face of a skeleton.
After taking a moment to pause, look at the skeleton, and, maybe slide one of his hands behind his cloak, he'd, wave with the other hand. Hi, can I help you?
It doesn't respond, just standing right in front of the exit of the hovel, staring at you.
Can I please get out so I can take watch? Unless you're going to start taking watch?
It does not respond. There is enough space that you could slide past it.
Okay, I'd go slide past it. I'd go keep my back against the hovel and within sight of the so that the skeleton is in front of me, and I can maybe stop it if it decides to go into the hovel.
It stands there. Its body doesn't move, but its head rotates to follow you.
That is undeniably creepy. He shivers thinking about that. Oh god, that angle would snap anyone else's neck. Ew.
Its teeth kind of clatter for a moment.
don't want to wake up Shenzi, but he just stayed there and watch it carefully, keeping his hand behind his cloak on his dagger.
Give me a perception check, please.
One thing that I'm not good at. Perception. There are a lot of shadow die rolling, goddamn, and it's making right.
Oh, goody.
It's at times like this you wish you could make 40 feet of light, huh?
As you are staring at the skeleton, you feel a tap on your shoulder.
The dagger comes out behind him, pointing at whatever he just tapped him.
The second you pull your hand out with the dagger, it kind of is frozen in place. No, you really mustn't try to attack your friends.
We're in the middle of nowhere. I'm on watch, and there are a bunch of creepy skeletons around.
Oh, pish
I'm going
posh.
to be on edge. And you could maybe announce your presence before you actually come over here instead of sneaking up, if you don't want the dagger in your face.
I
Can you
didn't
let go of
sneak
my
up.
hand now?
I just poofed right in here.
He doesn't sneak, he just appears. It's annoying. It's weird.
Greaves, of course, will come around into the light. He plops down in front of the torch and kind of just warms his hands towards it. So, what brings you to this frozen waste?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, you've been kidnapped by the Raven Queen, forced to undergo a trial, and we're stuck in a 3-way battle for Zale's contract.
Zale, now, that was the one that tried to attack me too, isn't it?
I don't know. I really don't know.
No, you would have been there when he tried attacking Greaves.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he really doesn't like you.
One of the
for some reason.
times he tried attacking Greaves.
So what brings you here exactly?
Oh, I'm just checking in on my favorite customers.
We could probably do with something that's a little bit more shelter than this hovel.
Yes, I'm sure you could. Alas, I didn't bring your mansion.
Aww.
Now, if you have coin, I might have something.
How much coin are we talking about?
Why does he remind me of the masked salesman from Legend of Zelda all of a sudden?
Now that you mention it, he actually kind of does. And now my creep factor of him has gone to about 2 to 100.
He's just there.
You've got to say the phrase in Greaves' voice. You've got to say it, Zim.
Wait, which one? Oh, that's like...
You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?
Oh, God.
You've met with a terrible fate, haven't you?
Yes!
Me? No. Still.
Oh, but you are here in the land of death.
Like, I even imagine the hand gesture, too.
I'm pretty sure we're not.
I'm actually kind of
dead.
doing it.
I can't do it!
Oh God, are we dead?
Well, this is where dead people go.
Oh no. We're all dead.
Again.
The worst part of this is not only are you dead, but you dragged your dear beloved grandson into the grave with you.
If anybody's going to be blamed for actually bringing us here, it's you.
I will note I had nothing to do with this.
Says
Actually,
the
it
one
wasn't-
with the contract.
It wasn't him technically. It was Shinzi, I think.
No, I rephrased slightly. I had nothing to do with sparking the idea that drove us here, and Zale had nothing to do with it entirely.
That is actually true.
Do enjoy your fate since you don't seem to have any coin to offer.
Well, I do have coin. I just need to know your ask price.
He vanishes before you.
Is he susceptible to bribing? What did nobody tell me this?
He has vanished. And a rather large cloud of smoke.
None shall see me. Though my battle cry may give me away.
Yay!
Hey there, Ray. Good to see you.
Elysian would take out his coin pouch and jingle it a little bit.
You have all lost the game.
I hate you.
Okay, move your screen.
I'm not going to acknowledge that, because if I acknowledge that, then it will, yeah,
I
anyways.
hate you.
That was influence from Ray. Or Imina in the chat.
I hate you.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da.
The rest of your watch passes uneventfully, Elysian. The skeleton does not move aside from its head following you. Regardless of, which direction you go, it just kind of spins around to watch.
Second. Okay. Whose turn is it next?
Next up would be Shenzi.
Oh, good. I was going to wake her up either way. Elysian would go over to Shenzi and gently shake her awake. It's your turn to watch. You have a skeleton friend you can talk to.
Huh?
Yeah. Go right out there. There's a skeleton friend.
Okay.
Nim will grumble
The
and
best thing to wake up to.
Nim will grumble and try to keep Shenzi down. I mean, he's kind of using her as a pillow.
With that, I have to AFK for a moment because apparently Grandma's TV is broken.
Use the AFK option in your toggle menu. Thank you.
He did.
I'm so proud.
Well, Tato, I mean, at least your great-great-grandma is apparently still alive.
So proud.
What?
Well, Elysian just left to help her. With the magic picture box.
A timely reappearance. The dungeon awaits.
Thank you very much for that resubscription, Ray. You are awesome.
Damn you, omnidirectional mic. It doesn't matter where I lay my head.
Shenzi, what are you doing?
Okay, I'm back. So
Oh, I go strut on out of there to go talk to my new skeleton friend.
you didn't need to wait for me. The entire point of me going AFK after finishing that was so you could continue.
We did continue.
We had a subscription that we had to celebrate.
Yay.
And we established that Tato's great-great-grandma is still alive.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I mean, if she's your grandma, then that makes it Tato's great-great-grandma.
Wait, is it my great-great-grandma?
No, it's your grandma. It's Tato's
Oh.
great-great-grandma.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
Yay.
Matt, good to see you. Matt is my brother, for those that aren't aware.
Hi,
Aw.
Zim's brother.
Who apparently
Yeah.
our mom has gotten cool and lets him get Doom and other games that are more graphic and violent.
How old is your brother?
I plead the fifth on the basis of I can never remember.
Considering that it's
Is he an
2018 and
adult?
he's fine.
He's 17.
I'm gonna be honest, I
Oh,
only know
that's
one of
fine.
Zim's brothers, and that's because I went to school with him.
None shall see me.
Oh my god.
Though my battle cry may give me away.
Really, Ray?
I'm sorry. I'm starting to consider that we should maybe limit them within like a certain time period.
Oh no, I'm okay with them anytime. Anyways, Shenzi, you leave the hovel and find no skeleton up there.
I look around, and I walk around, and I keep looking around, and I get more and more sad.
There are skeletons off in the distance. They are right at the edge of your light. Though they
Are they the
back
same
away
skeletons
as you
who've been
approach.
following us around?
Yes.
Oh, then I know they're there. They're not the special one. I go back in and I wake up Elysian.
What? They're just getting to sleep.
My skeleton friend isn't there.
Oh, I don't know where he is. I promised he was there, or she. Do undead even have genders?
Skeletons do, technically, you can differentiate the gender easiest ways based on the number of ribs they have, but there's also slight differences in the bone structure, so yes.
Because
Okay.
of course Shenzi knows
Positive.
all of this by heart.
She likes bones.
This is a family-friendly stream, Tato.
I swear there
I'm
was
being family friendly. I said
there
bones, not.
there
not
was a skeleton
else.
there, and Graves showed up.
Will you help me find the skeleton?
Okay.
Everyone else
Hey.
give me a wisdom saving throw to stay asleep if you wish.
I give Elysian a big hug.
Question.
Yay,
As a
hug.
cat, do I have advantage on this roll?
I will allow that.
Yes.
Alright, Sale, you can stay asleep. Tato, are you going to try and stay asleep?
Yeah, you said wisdom saving?
Yes. The hell happened to your character sheet this time, Tato?
What do you mean?
You don't have any proficiency in your saves. The hell? I was like, you should have proficiency in Constitution. Okay, no, it's Strength and Dexterity for a Ranger. Alright. Well, there you go. I don't know why those disappeared on you.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, you have bonuses to Strength and Dexterity saving throws.
Yeah.
I guess he did an air. We'll assume Azeroth just doesn't care. His, military thing, lets him just sleep. Ignore non-emergencies. So, Elysian, you going out with Shenzi now?
Yeah.
Alright. There are no tracks in the snow.
Tales of our endeavors proliferate.
Praetor's Rejects, thank you very much for that host.
Yay! So when you say there's no tracks, does that mean you can't even see where I walked around to look for the skeleton?
Now, you can see that, but there are no tracks of the skeleton.
I swear there was a skeleton. He was standing over the thing, just like this, just staring at me and unnaturally turning his head to stare at me. Then Graves showed up.
Greaves.
Greaves.
But what about my skeleton friend? You can't even tell there was anybody here. Where did he go?
Elysian.
Speaking of skeleton friends, is Gibb still with us?
He is not.
You're gonna make her cry.
Maybe a little.
Well, the Raven King wasn't about to let an undead in.
Exactly.
Even if it makes sense, you're gonna make her cry. It'll be entirely your fault.
I'm aware, and I don't like it, but...
Yeah, nobody likes it.
Did he just not get teleported with us, or is he
Yeah.
like gone?
You, in characterly, you would not be able to tell the difference. Necromancers really don't share that much of a connection to their creations.
Okay, but out of character so I don't cry.
He still exists, he just did not get teleported.
Okay, I can live with that.
Presumably, he's still standing in the center of the of Mulemaster's town square where you and Nim had left, and he's just standing there.
Probably just kind of looking around, waiting for us to randomly appear back.
Basically.
He's probably gonna get arrested or something.
How are you gonna arrest a skeleton?
How are you going to arrest a motionless, unresponsive skeleton?
Easy, you place him under arrest.
No. They attach a ticket to his forehead and apply a boot.
What did I come back to?
He wanders off every night and then comes back with dawn, waiting for his owner, his mistress, and she just doesn't come back. Day in and day out.
You're gonna make us cry now.
You're giving me feels like Futurama all over again.
Oh god.
Like Futurama. See what you're doing?
Tales of
I
our
mean,
endeavors
spoilers, so it's
proliferate.
not that bad. But,
Get ready for that host.
I swear, the skeleton was right here. He kept staring at me and wouldn't respond to anything I said.
Where could it have gone?
Probably where all the other skeletons currently are.
Elysian, give me a perception
But they run away
check.
when I get close.
One thing that I'm not good at. Oh, come on! Don't become Krell. Don't become my blind tech priest.
Off in the darkness, you see a humanoid shape standing there. Straight ahead on the other side of the hovel from you.
Elysian would go quiet and motion Shenzi to look in the same direction.
Does Shenzi see this?
Yes, you do see the motionless shape.
Okay, well, I am going to very loudly and without any regards to my own safety start running towards it.
Good job.
Elysian would run after her, drawing out his bow and arrow.
Are you the skeleton thing? Were you just talking to Elysian?
As you run into the darkness, give me an acrobatics check.
Oh boy.
You stumble in the snow and crash into the form. Finding it very sturdy and rough, and just a tree.
Like, oof. Oh, God.
Somewhere in the back of your mind, you hear Zell's voice. When you find a tree out in the wilderness, it's the perfect source of firewood. It's tax-free. It's free, honestly.
I've learned in many a times that moving trees make good cover, as everyone ignores them.
This is just kind of a random place to see a tree. Can I tell if there's anything special about this tree? Because last I knew, there wasn't any wood or anything around, and we had to get all of our wood from the thing that's been following us.
To clarify for our fans, it's the floating disc trimmed.
Yes, thank you.
Got Tensor's herniating disc.
Yes, but because we had to take wood on that and there were no trees around, I am very confused at the existence of this tree.
One moment. We've got... One moment.
Okay.
No.
Apologies, had to, report someone.
Oh.
I don't forgive you.
How dare you?
Uber hacks.
Alright,
What?
they are blocked, reported to Twitch, and let's move on.
What were they doing?
Obviously, they were hazing people.
They were posting, they were spamming inappropriate words, obviously meant just to, you know, harass.
Say no more.
Okay, moving on. Let's not dwell on that.
I
Alright,
want to talk about how you ran into a parked tree.
yes, you ran into a tree.
I am not the brightest.
That tree was moving. I was done. I didn't know of this.
Elysian would then turn around and look back at the igloo. We're supposed to be on watch, remember?
I am watching this tree because why is this here?
Elysian, when you turn back in the firelight, the skeleton is back staring at the hovel.
Without breaking his contact. Shenzi, look, it's back!
I'm staring at this tree, trying to,
Shenzi,
like...
look, it's your
stare-
skeleton friend.
I am trying to stare into the soul of this tree and figure out why it's here.
Roll an insight against a tree.
It's a very Shinji thing to do. I mean, I can't argue this.
Is there any check or anything I can do to figure out what is up with this tree? Because there is no reason it should be here.
I mean, there are trees all around this area.
You said we were in a...
You said, yeah, you
It's
said there were no
very
trees.
sparse. And most of them are more of a frozen husk than an actual tree.
Well, this one's very solid. Shinji landed it first.
Well, yes, it's solid, but it's not viable for firewood or anything else.
My face can confirm how solid this tree is.
Anyways.
Are you saying the tree did you a solid?
Shenzi, look, before it disappears.
I guess I can turn my back on the weird tree, even though it just destroyed my face. And I will turn around to look for the skeleton.
You do not see anything.
Elysian, I don't see anything. I don't know what you're talking about.
Elysian, you do still see it.
But it's right there. He'd run up to Igloo, pointing at it. He'd go to touch it.
Your hand goes through it.
Oh, it's a ghost.
A ghost of a skeleton?
Apparently we have a skeleton ghost. I am very confused now, and I have no idea what's going on.
I'd have a relevant question. Did you or did you not eat the mushrooms that were in the cart?
I don't think I ate the mushrooms out first.
I mean, they might have fallen out of somebody else's belongings onto the cart, in which case you could have eaten them, but I hope you didn't eat the mushrooms.
I go back to staring down this tree.
This tree is just so interesting.
Elysian would be
This
poking
tree! This tree is not very nice.
It came out of nowhere and blindsided her, so...
It really did. I don't trust it.
I swear, officer, the tree hit me.
Okay, Shenzi, you are no longer allowed to operate heavy machinery.
I'm not the one who's hallucinating.
Yeah, but the rest don't actually know I'm hallucinating, only you.
Yeah, and they don't know I'm staring down a tree that hit me in the face.
I swear both of us are insane now. I'm not supposed to be sane, I'm supposed to be sane. Oh, God. Why is the skeleton here? What is its purpose? Why is it just staring at the hovel? I feel like it's been doing this every other night, I just haven't noticed.
Zale makes an entry in his diary.
There's only been 2 nights here.
I'm going back to bed. I don't want to stay up on watch anymore.
Dear diary, I fear that Shenzi has finally lost her marbles. She seemed to be searching for them in a tree. Elysian is staring into thin air and is apparently convinced it is staring back at him. I can only conclude that I am the last sane one amongst the party.
Skeleton.
I deeply regret being unable to capture that pink elephant. I could have provided the money to break away from this group and save my own sanity. And entry.
Wait, didn't you completely forget about the pink elephant incident?
Until you reminded him about it, and
Yeah,
he mentioned a friend who would have paid a great deal for it.
True. We did remind him about.
Okay. Well, Lizane would go back to bed, leaving Shenzi to stare at the tree.
Shenzi makes herself comfortable and pokes the tree.
I swear we're not trapped again. Don't starve.
Does the tree poke back?
It does not. It is a tree.
I continue staring at the tree.
You make a perfect guard for the tree.
Every once in a while, I reach out and I poke the tree again with a very distrusting look on my face.
Don't teach my hamster to suck eggs.
Alright, and
It's
you're all
still a
allow
tree.
this. A voice comes from the tree. I'm sorry,
Oh my
you
God.
seem to be barking up the wrong branch here.
I jump. You
I
can
would've-
talk?
I would have loved if it just said boo.
Well,
I think it was
yes,
a one-
I mean, I am in the realm of a god. Now, if you would please allow me to resume my slumber, I would be most appreciative.
I'm
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yes, now, go back to whatever it is you do.
Shenzi stiffly and with wide eyes goes back to the hovel. If you could see under her fur, she would be pale as if she had seen a ghost.
Sure. The only thing that's
Well, I don't know. I mean, she sees ghosts all the time and isn't afraid of those.
Yeah, well, a talking tree is a different matter.
Talking tree is something that Shenzi is not. Nope.
That life is not meant to talk to anybody. But
I think we've just discovered one of Shenzi's fears.
Talking trees.
Yep.
Well, Shenzi has.
I guess I'm just gonna sit there and just hang out at the hovel, wide-eyed, still very scared of that tree.
well, add that to the mentally scarred list.
Do give me a perception check, Shenzi.
If I fail, it's because I'm scared of the tree.
You are sitting there shivering, both from the cold and from the tree. The torch goes out during your shift, but you just don't seem to notice. After a while, Nim comes up and pushes up against you, and you're kind of startled out of your daze.
I look at him, but I keep like side-eye glancing back at the tree through whatever exchange is about to happen.
You okay?
Tree.
Yes, they're
Tree.
good for being on.
my God. Oh my god. I just had a thought. I had a funny thought. Never mind.
Tree. Talking.
Yes, you're talking. Yes.
No, the tree. The tree talked to me.
Nim will just sit, confused by this interaction. It's Wispy Woods.
I cuddle up next to Nim for warmth and continue staring at the tree.
Nim will maintain watch from there. Happily sharing the warmth with Shenzi. He does motion towards the torch. Maybe we should light that again?
I wave my paw and get some dancing lights going around us.
Well, those
without
won't really
breaking eye
give.
contact with the tree.
Those would not give warmth.
Do I look like the kind of person who thinks things through? I literally just ran into a tree. I mean...
And then it spoke to you.
Exactly. I am going to have some dancing lights around us while I continue to stare at the tree, and the only cold thing I can figure out is to snuggle up with Nim, because, oh my god, this tree just spoke to me.
He will tug out his quilt more and do his best to drape it around both of us. And then, just as suddenly as the night had come, daylight shines forth. And the tree is gone.
It go bye-bye.
Well, I am now an even bigger bumbling idiot. I'm so confused right now.
Nim will yell to the others, not leaving Shenzi.
Alright, so now I can share what I was thinking. I thought Nim was gonna piss on the tree.
Could you imagine being in the middle of peeing on a tree when it just decides to talk to you? Like, excuse me, sir, do you mind?
No, he does not.
Sorry, my son decided he needed to speak to me at that time. So I am, while Nim is getting the rest of the party, I am standing there, baffled, staring at where the tree used to be.
We will begin getting prepared then to leave.
I was about to say, did everybody forget how to talk?
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting for others to, respond. Nim
No,
was purposely
we'll stay
waking
silent
you
for the
all
next
up.
2 hours.
If you want me to deal with the tree, you forgot to sign a contract and provide monetary compensation.
Elysian would stretch up, probably a little bit tired than usual.
Okay. So Tato just gets up, dusts himself off of all that snow. Let's just keep going, guys. I mean, I guess we can have breakfast first.
Oh yeah,
Have
breakfast we
rations.
should have first.
Nim
Shenzi's not
will
hungry.
Nim will take what supplies are on the cart and whip something up. And it is very tasty.
I'm a munch a ration.
You're refusing Nim's cooking?
It used to be only Zale that refused.
I know,
Oh,
right?
it's still not taking it, by the way. I've got a day's worth of rations right in my hand.
I haven't had my rations in a while, and I'm getting a real good taste to them. You know what I'm saying?
Everyone give me a
Rations are the most enjoyable
constitution.
part.
Everyone give me a constitution saving throw, please.
Oh, good. Constitution save. That's good. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
Nothing is getting to me except that tree.
Tato, Zale, and Nim have another point of exhaustion.
I'm sorry to say this, but I have an ironclad stomach.
Those
Why are you sorry to say that?
for the completion of the evening, the long rest, 1 point is cleared away. So Zale, you are at 1. Lycian, you have none. Nim will be at 1. Tato will also be at 1. Azeroth, you are down to 2. So who eats
Did we
their
win
own...
the battle?
What?
Bad joke.
Azeroth
Go on.
was singing the Final Fantasy victory theme.
I lost a point.
Okay.
Hey, I'm glad I'm not going mad in snow madness. Thank you.
Who is going to eat of Nim's prepared food?
I'll try it.
Me. Because he is good at one thing. That's cooking.
I shall try it only because I know it's a
Awesome,
waste
check.
to waste food.
He's
Anyone
also
else?
good at being my bestest friend ever. No, Shenzi is too freaked out.
Nim will push some of the food towards Shenzi.
I guess if it's within reaching distance, I might have a couple small bites.
The food is warm and filling, better than the rations. Tato and Zale, you are not eating the the food?
Nah,
Correct.
I like jerky. Thank you very much.
I don't feel like it.
Azeroth, are you eating the meal or your
Yep,
own
I'm eating
ration?
it, I'm eating it.
Okay.
No, I said I'm eating it. I just said I have no real opinion against rations. Thank you very much. Because you said it's better than.
All right. Those that eat it are cured of another level of exhaustion. So, Azeroth, you're back down to 1.
Haha. Da, 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 da.
So, continuing on with the traveling, you continue for another rest of the day. You do manage to get to the bottom of the cliff at the
Oh,
you manage to get to the bottom of the mountain. You arrive at the base of stairs leading up to your destination. To gaze upon this black edifice of ice is to leave the light of life and hope behind. This mighty palace wears darkness like a shroud, radiating a chill even colder than the one you faced across this land of Latherna. Here at the seat of the Raven Queen's power and reign over death, streams of souls flow ever towards the peak from all directions. They coalesce in a maelstrom of writhing incorporeal forms. A small trickle of these souls drop toward the palace gate, and every so often a black-winged form rises to the storm and draws one forth, dragging the squirming form to the gates and beyond. The stairs before you are massive, about 8 feet tall each. The face of the frozen stairs are riddled with grips that may make it easier to climb. They lead up to the castle, a long distance up to this highest peak. Is no one else going to talk?
Tato would like to
Well,
try.
Zale has a climb speed, so he's golden.
Climb speed?
Climb speed.
Well, let's go.
Oh yeah, I have that too, don't I?
Oh, this is gonna
You
suck
do?
in some ways.
Yes.
How?
Wait. What do you mean by climb speed?
Zale has claws as a cat. He gets a climb
Oh.
speed. It's part of his racial bonuses.
Oh, okay. I'd probably use second story as my climbing thing as a rogue.
I would have to hope my
Well, that might do
acrobatics land me a good time.
I just use athletics.
Oh yeah, I have athletics too. I forgot that.
There are supplies with you, though the disc will be unable to follow you further.
Mhm.
Can I find some rope and a grappling hook?
Yes.
Awesome. I'll take that.
There is a problem that you'll need to consider.
What?
Nim.
Oh, the four-legged
Oh.
one. Oh, god damn it. Fine, fine. I'll
I'll
strap.
tie the rope around him. And when
Mm,
I'm up, I
well.
can pull him.
just know that's gonna be a drag on you.
Well,
Think of
then
it
he'll be
as-
last up, and we can all pull together.
All right.
Okay.
So, Tato will swing the grappling hook and toss it up over the, I'm guessing, a wall to the window. I'm not sure.
So it is a wild idea, and normally I'm not the one to recommend any sort of teamwork, but what if I were to climb up first and then manually, like, secure the grapple?
Good idea.
One
Do that.
person. The person who
So
does-
these are steps that lead up to the palace. The problem is that they are about 8 feet tall, each.
Yay. Oh, that's just an annoying climb.
It is
A
an
very
annoying
annoying
one.
climb. My
It's
character's
doable, but it's annoying.
It'll
Mhm.
take us significantly longer to get up there because it'll be climb 8 feet. Get everybody else up, climb 8 feet.
Hey, at least it's not 10 feet. And I don't
How
know.
long?
This,
Okay, so utilizing our plan of just having Nim go up last every time and having like the rope tied up around Nim.
that would take
It
too long.
might be
I got a
better
question.
for like Azeroth or someone with strength to lift him up. And then
Yeah, I was
someone
about to
else
say
up
that.
above
Strength?
to.
I was gonna, yeah, because we had, remember the last time we played? talked
We
about the
fixed
characters.
Azeroth's abilities.
Unless you were okay with it the first time. No. Anyways,
What?
You forgot. Don't worry about it. Just know
Azeroth
that
is
last
strong
time
now.
we looked at my sheet and said, "Oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't have let the person who said he wasn't as experienced as everyone else set up his character."
Okay, so what are we doing?
I say that I lift the dog, or the dog, stand on my shoulders and leap. Thing is, I'm already freaking a tall character. I mean, look, you just move your stuff to the right and
How
left. and
tall
look at that
are
stage.
you?
Oh shit! I think I'm normal size though, but I didn't say like tall. So never mind. I guess in the game space, I'm pretty much average.
The issue is everybody else is short.
Yeah, I'm taller than everyone else.
Which is ironic because almost everybody in my Wednesday group is over 6 feet. Purely by coincidence.
I didn't put an actual height, but is 6 feet considered tall? I mean, like,
That's. I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Yeah.
it's tall, but not very
I mean,
much.
yeah,
Based
okay,
on
cool.
the group pick, you are significantly taller than the rest of the group.
yeah.
So I'd say you could probably be about 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah, okay. As long as it's not like breaking into giant territory, we're good. Or like, double-sized annoyances. Sorry. I hate that.
I mean, I'm 6'6", real life, so...
I know. Anyways, I'm 6'4". You don't have to talk to me.
Kids may call me a giant, but that doesn't make me a giant.
You
Except for when
vote
they look
that-
at me and start crying.
I vote that Azeroth stars in the next big friendly giant movie.
Oh my goodness. You missed it.
Makes you feel better. I had a small child walk up to me the other month and, "Are you a lady?"
Standing ovation, child. Standing ovation.
Yeah,
You're a
What
very
Ray
pretty
said.
lady, Curtis.
Oh, thank you.
yeah. Apparently, Ray's co-workers, they saw me one day and were like, he's a Viking. But anyways, Nim will suggest that perhaps Azeroth lifts him up and Tato pulls him the rest of the way up.
Yeah. Sounds reasonable. And plus, dog can jump really good. So,
Can't really jump when being lifted.
fair point. And I can't throw him. I'm not about to throw the dog. The
And it's a
quadruped.
wolf.
The
See, now,
quadruped.
if he were a dwarf, that would be no problem. We toss dwarves all the time, but a wolf? Nah.
We don't talk about tossing dwarves, remember?
Only because our star player isn't here anymore.
No, the dwarf tosses himself with the bribe of Usquai.
Actually, that's kind of true.
Alright, so how long does it take for all of us to get up the stairs? We're doing this each. like,
Azeroth
each
and
stair.
Tato, I will need you both to give me, we'll say 5
Athletics.
strength checks.
Oh, darn it. I was going to hope you said athletics. Okay.
Yeah, I thought.
Just
this
go
would be
ahead
more
and
athletics,
drag
too.
the strength, drag from the strength ability, and then right click until you've got 5 dice.
Wee. Oh my. Oh my.
Why do you have disadvantage?
One.
I'll re-roll that.
Oh, wait. No, that should not have applied. I mean, yeah, you do have disadvantage as a, you rolled
You rolled
one
6,
more
or
than
whatever.
you...
Wow.
I'll take away his top one. It doesn't matter. He still has a 20.
There.
No, watch you roll again. God damn it.
Technically, that is 3 ones, but I think only the 1 applies.
The one, we're gonna use that one with the total of 90. I rolled to see which one would be ignored, and it happened to be the one. So, those are great rolls. Which makes up for Azeroth's less than stellar ones.
Heck yeah. Is that 2 5s?
I will need athletics checks from everyone. Again, just 5 each. Except for Zale, because you've got your climb. Elysian, your second story...
Superior right and a superior class. Thank you very much.
Your second story work only allows you to...
Oops.
Your second story work just means that you don't have a penalty to your move speed when climbing. It doesn't give you any extra advantage for climbing.
I had better luck on this.
Okay,
That was
so
lower.
5. Oops, wait, that's just the 1d20. God, I keep messing this up. So you said athletics?
Yes.
See, I do need one from you.
That's 6, not 5. There we go. Okay, finally, I did it correctly. God damn it.
Holy crap.
How? How?
Alright, so getting through all this. Zale, you're fine. Nim is able to get up there with a combination of Azeroth and Tato. Shenzi, I still need the roll from you. But I'm guessing she's AFK. So let's start with Azeroth here. Your bonus to it does help quite a bit. But not quite enough.
Lol. I know, this is a horrible roll. It seems like I rolled better when I had lower strength.
Give me...
Wait, what's up with all of the dice for the roll?
These are just
Everyone has to
combined rolls to get up the stairs. I need 5 athletics rolls from you.
Drag once from the athletics and right click.
Yeah, drag once, right click until you've got 5 dice and then roll. Very nice. Now, Azeroth, starting with you there, I will need 3 more rolls.
The athletics, I assume?
Yes.
Oh, damn.
Alright, so you are able to get up to the top. You do slip and fall 3 times. You take a total of 6 points of damage from those times that you fall.
Yes. I call it pure skill.
I will add that. So next up, we've got Tato.
Hi.
You are able to make it up with no problems.
Yay!
With some of those rolls, I will allow you to help others if you wish.
Of course I will.
All right. In that case, your first 2 will probably be helping. You can choose either Azeroth or Shenzi. Or Elysian, really. So basically everybody.
Help everybody.
Zale will help Shenzi along.
Okay. So Shenzi, go ahead and give me 2 more rolls, or 3 more, rather.
I'll help up Azeroth.
3 more athletics.
Yes. Okay, so with Zale's help, you are able to make it up with no problems then. Elysian, we'll come back to that mess. Azeroth, give me another set of 3 rolls.
Oh, wow.
Alright, so you still take 3 points of damage when you fall once, but the other 3 is not a factor anymore.
Okay.
And then Elysian, holy crap, none of that first set succeed. I will need you to give me a second set.
Athletics is supposed
That's
to be one
impressive.
of the few things I'm actually good at.
Sure, back.
You take 8 points of fall damage from the first failings. The second attempt, there are 2 failures, so please roll those again.
Wait, all of another 5 or
2.
oh. Yay!
Alright, you're able to get up finally. You do take an additional 6 points of fall damage.
Elysian would immediately collapse on the nearest rock.
My one regret in all of this Zale doesn't know you're Tato's grandfather, so he can't make a salami comment.
We're doing this time swap thing like Homestuck, baby.
I do need Tato to be back for this next part.
Good luck, Tato. The world depends on it. Excuse me.
Was that thunder again? Or is that fireworks?
Not being present at your location, I am unable to determine this answer.
To the weather app.
Or a window?
Yeah. I don't know. He doesn't always
It's
make
dark
sense.
outside. It's dark outside. I can't actually see if it's raining or
We
not.
are going to take a small intermission, everyone. We'll be back shortly, but I need to step away for a moment.
Okey doke. I will go wake myself.
All right, everybody, we are back. Sorry about that. Looks like Azeroth might be coming back right now. At least I just saw him. Did say he popped up. I don't know why he's not on voice yet, but, you know. Very well. Hello, everybody. Do remember to hit that follow button and subscribe to the channel if you can. If you are watching this on YouTube, ring that notification bell and come join us live on Twitch when we're streaming. Anyways, let us continue.
Yay.
Ah, good. That was just enough time. Elysian.
Yes.
I don't know if he's still in the chat, but
Hi.
I know you, I'm meaning. Apparently there was an influence that I didn't notice at some point. Well, anyways. Elysian, as you fall to the ground at the top of the stairs, your bag of coaling falls and empties out some paper onto the icy ground. Somebody is typing with their mic unmuted. Thank you. This paper turns out to be risque pictures of a particular person's grandmother.
Stop!
Elysian would just dive over the papers as if diving onto the ground is a completely normal thing.
Perception to notice, oh please.
Everyone would notice. There are at least a dozen of them, and they kind of spread all out. Somehow, all of them face up.
He'd
all of
be
this.
trying to grab them and hide them.
I thought we already knew about these from before we
No,
went to
no,
King
you know
Copper.
about a really big one.
I've got to say, I wouldn't expect you to swing that direction, Elysian. It's a bold move, my friend. I'll approve.
I don't even know where all these are coming from anymore.
Oh, no, I've done that. I've stuffed things in my backpack and completely forgotten they were there. Has everybody seen my mushrooms? By the way, I seem to have lost some mushrooms, and they're sort of important.
I have memories of these, but somebody placed them in the bag, and it was not me.
I mean, nobody else has had access to the bag.
No, see, it's not uncommon. The missus always packs something to remember her by. I've got a lot of mementos like that back in my bags. Whenever I left those, I think Rook remembers.
Well, you won't know because Rook isn't here.
Well, I've got the bags. I'm just saying that having hides things from me sometimes, plausible deniability and all that.
There is also a ring among the pictures that fall out.
Elysian's hand would shoot out faster than it's ever shot out before and grab the ring.
That would be a dexterity.
Dexterity.
Nope, it'd actually be a slave hand.
Which is a dexterity check, just an advanced one.
Just to spite you, it's going to be a dexterity.
That's okay, I still have a very big dexterity bonus.
With disadvantage. More disadvantage.
Anyways.
I know you're the DM and do whatever you want, but I'm curious as to where the disadvantage comes from.
Just to
The fact that he
spite him.
sprawled across so many pictures of a... Never mind.
He'd
Okay, that
begin
makes sense.
stuffing the pictures back into the bag of pulling.
Tato,
No,
one
shit,
of them.
Ollie goes out for a bit. They warm the cockles. What you know?
Tato, one of them does flitter over and land before you.
I just immediately rip it up and tear it to shreds, and I just.
You feel an intense
Did you really
pang
have to
of
do
guilt.
that? Could you just not flip it over?
I mean, yeah, he was going to enjoy those later.
No, I've got to agree with this.
I'll be right back.
Theft of property, perfectly acceptable. Destruction
Okay,
of
I'm back.
property, no.
The hell. I just noticed on stream it's using my other profile picture, the one of Turlix, instead of the one of Elysian. Because on our Discord I have the Elysian one. Why didn't it update?
I'm
for
showing your Turlix one in the stream voice chat.
Yeah.
Like
And it
where
shouldn't be
here
that.
where we are talking.
What? I changed.
Yes,
I'll be
over on
right
the
back,
right
man.
I see that it's the wolf one, but for some
That
reason
is so weird.
yeah.
Yeah, I see in the streaming room that it's Elysian, but on the stream it shows that's so weird.
No, in the streaming room it shows Turlix, whereas in the member list on
Yeah.
the right it shows. That was really weird. Thank you, Rivis. Yeah, the I had said it before, but it kind of got ignored that the ring was present. But I figured this was a good opportunity to bring it back up.
I'll be right back.
No!
Given the
Zim?
likely reason for this, I
Zim,
say go.
I will
go.
be right back.
Okay. Apparently everything is breaking for Elysian anyways.
Including his psyche.
That sounds like.
No, his is doing fine. Yours is damaged.
I'll damage you.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Go big boy. I say bring it on.
Does it-
Let me sneak over this way so you can't see my face.
Does it now have the correct icon?
No.
Oh, good, it does. Okay, now that's settled. Back to the problem at hand. He'd look down at the ring, and instead of putting it back in, he'd just slip it onto his ring finger.
Oh, good.
I have the ring now, might as well wear it.
Yes, wear a random ring that you don't know what it does.
You never said it was magical.
You never asked.
Yeah, you kind of just grabbed it and
The
put it
ring is
on.
now visible, so not a Dracana.
Maybe you should have looked before you left.
Mate, that is the most magical ring I've ever seen.
Kenzie.
You see how it sparkles? I will give you good money for that.
Shenzi.
Elysian,
Yes.
you feel pricks in your finger as it goes on.
He'd
Just keep it off for a minute. I'll weigh it. and tell
he'd
you
go
the exact value.
attempt to slightly slide it off.
It does not come off.
God damn it. Shenzi!
Shenzi is not here right now.
Please leave a message after the silence. Unfortunately, there is no silence, so you won't be able to leave your
She's
message.
a necromancer. Let's respect her choice of receptionist. Shenzi's not available right now. Please leave a message after the moan.
Well, there was no moan, so you can't leave a message. Sorry, Elysian. You got a cursed ring now.
God.
Well, can I help him technically? No, wait. I don't think I can remove curses. Huh.
I want to say that's a 5th level spell in most versions, so I don't think you can.
Yeah, I
But
thought
we
about
are
it for a
level
second.
5.
No, 5th,
No, 5th level
magic.
spell.
Oh, 5th.
I had to think about it really hard. I was like, wait, I don't ever remember saying anything about removing curses now that I thought about it. You're on your own, buddy. Sorry.
Yeah,
You shall
Curse Ring
see.
has at least some
Oh,
benefits.
my battle cry may give me away.
God damn it.
Elysian. A blue cat appears in front of you.
Yay. Rear.
He just shakes his head at you and slaps a sticker, a large, sarcastic sticker on your forehead, saying, "Good job." Not that you'd know it, because you can't see it, but, you know, it also
hang
does
on,
not
I've
come
got
off.
a mirror. You've got to see this. Zale holds up a small pocket mirror where he can see.
It says "good job." It's got a little picture of a guy holding, giving a thumbs up, and
It is a thumb bandage, has been recently broken, and the guy's smile gapped tooth with a single blackened eye.
yes.
My life is complete. Thank you, N.
Do not be an idiot and just put on random rings.
I thought the ring fell out of the bag of coaling.
It did. It's still a random ring that you don't know where it came from, do you?
Yeah.
I'm
This
very,
may or
very
may not be
sorry.
true.
There was once a story from one of the
Genzi,
players
Arcana
I play
check,
with
ring,
regularly,
please.
in which a dwarven prince, so proud of himself and his adventuring prowess, immediately adorned himself with a belt the party had found. And thus came into the party the dwarven princess.
Genzi,
What's the-
Arcana check on the ring, please.
Well, instead of saying Arcana check on the ring, please, can't you, like, in character say, hey, Shenzi, can you check out this ring?
I think it bit me.
Where'd that ring come from?
It fell out of the bag of coaling, and I thought it was a different ring, and I didn't realize that it was magically enchanted, so now it's pricked me and is probably cursed.
Oh God, Cupcake.
Where'd you get it?
The bag of coaling.
Okay, but you put stuff in the bag of coaling, so where'd you get it?
Bag of coaling came with stuff already in it, remember?
Yeah.
No.
Also, some of
what
the
do you think?
cartridges did spill out as well.
See, those were some of the things that were in there. I didn't put those in there.
Okay,
He put the
I forgot that
cartridges
was a
back
thing.
in.
If it makes you feel any better, I used to have a grandfather that had a cursed thing. It was a blue pendant, just like this one.
Zale and Shenzi, as you both try to inspect the ring, you feel a sharp pain in your mind. You both take 4 points of psychic damage.
My offer is off the table. I don't know a single fence that would take that. I mean, legitimate buttering person at a pawn shop.
And as you all are dealing with this, the sky brightens above you. And down from the heavens descend a fresh-baked baguette, slowly descending down in front of you, and
I
just
say we light it on
hovering in
fire.
front of your face. The smell
Light it
is
on fire.
enticing, and you just absolutely want to eat.
Light it on fire.
Nim will eat his baguette. Food is food. Turlix, you're lighting yours on fire?
No. No,
You
I'm not
already
actually
said-
doing it. I just really don't trust it now.
You
that
already said that you're lighting it on fire.
No, I was saying that as a command. He'd actually be unable to resist the urge to eat food.
Give me a percentile roll, high or low.
Low. How did I do percentile again?
Oh, for the love of all that is holy!
Right
How is it
click.
so hard to remember?
Right click on the dice that is the 8, 1, 4.
D10.
I forgot 4. 6.
D10?
Yeah, D10. That's right. Right click on it. Percent sign. Oh yeah. Oh damn.
God damn it.
I'm the only one
You
that can call
pull
it
out
but-
your flint and tinder, or flint and steel, and light the baguette on fire. It explodes.
Huh.
You take
It's like, whew.
13 points of fire damage.
There is no way I'm touching one of those things. Get it away from me.
Nim seems perfectly fine eating his. There's no problem with it.
Yeah, but
Tato
he's a
eats
dog.
his.
They can eat anything.
Tato, your level of exhaustion is removed.
Yay!
This was
Good
a
job.
gift from Riku
An adoring
/
fan.
Ray
The gift from the gods. Lol.
from the Kobold God. Elysian, give me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh, look, the one time I failed the dexterity rolls.
The explosion of the baguette sends you backwards off of the step. Blue dude, could you mute yourself, please?
Oh my.
Thank you. The explosion sends you backwards off of the step you're on. But at the last moment, the ring on your finger just kind of pulls your hand over to the ledge. And basically forces you to grab it.
Oh, good, the ring has a mind of its own. Using his other hand, he'd go to grab the ledge and pull himself back up.
As you get up onto the edge again and stand up, the hand with the ring is flung off the side of the step, and you go flying off. Not really. Moving on.
I was going to fucking cut off my finger just then.
No, the ring got you back to safety. Allowed you to survive. For now.
Then I could become an assassin.
So, anybody else gonna eat their baguette?
Sure.
Nope.
Let's see what happens.
Azeroth, your 3 points of damage are healed, and your exhaustion point is gone.
Yay. Should have said that, but oh well.
And
I could also
basically
use some
everybody else
healing.
doesn't really matter that much, honestly, because the only other person that could benefit turned it down. So,
No, I will say this: if Elysian wants more share, he's welcome to it. For a small fee.
Azeroth, can I get some healing, please?
None
I'm-
shall see me. Though my battle cry may give me away.
8 points away from
the
dying.
blue cat appears once more. slapping Elysian with another sarcastic star sticker on your cheek, saying, "Great job." And this one
Thank you,
has
sarcastic cat.
a very cartoonish representation of, a cartoon character having had something explode in their face.
Thank you,
Please be Wile E.
sarcastic
Coyote.
cat,
Please.
for your
Yes,
input.
it will be Wile
I'm
E.
very
Coyote.
pleased by this. And it will make for a great story later on.
Again, I will offer you this lovely loaf of healing things if you give me a small fee. Say 25 gold. Much less than a healing potion. So
1
it's a
gold.
downright bargain. No, I will not take less than 20.
I'm getting healing from Azeroth.
Oh, show us the cleric to waste his divine blessings on a fool.
Sorry,
Some
but,
deities stop
even-
boycotting prayers if they're used perfectly.
Even the cleric cannot heal stupid.
Moving on.
Zale wafts the scent of the fresh baguette towards Elysian.
Then again, I mean, it is up to Blue if he wants to actually do anything. He's been very quiet. His mic might
I
be
will
muted.
go down to 15 gold. That is my absolute last offer. And if you ever get that ring off, I want it.
You don't want the ring.
Well, I know someone who would be willing to purchase such an item even so.
Let me rephrase. The moment. Actually, I'm not going to say that now.
Blue dude, are you there?
I'm here. Wait a moment. Heard the background yelling. Anyways. Here you go. Get a big
Now
slap
you
in
are
the
really
face.
quiet.
Yay.
Get a
No,
big slap in the face.
Elysian.
Next time the gods offer you a gift, you freaking take it, not burn it.
Blue, you are really
I
quiet
was
suddenly.
trying to make a business opportunity here. What'd you go and heal him for?
I turned myself down because someone could hear the tapping.
Okay. Better if you just mute yourself for that, because you're too quiet to hear really now. But anyways. Azeroth, as you go to... Elysian, I said no.
What?
I said no.
No to what?
The healing.
Oh.
Azeroth, as you go to invoke your divine power, you find that your God's presence is not there.
So, what did I tell you? Superfluous reasonings always anger the gods. Also taking a name in vain. I don't know why that upsets him. I mean,
Well,
I think they'd like to having the word of their name spread.
well, seeing as it never cast it, it was never used.
No, the spell slot is used. You tried to
damn it.
cast it. You tried to pull on the divine power. It came, but then just kind of fluttered out.
Well,
You go paces.
I guess I'm gonna be a flail bot for the while. Can't heal, by the way.
Something about this place, this particular part of this realm, is cutting you off from the influence of your deity. Perhaps it is the proximity to another deity. So, continuing with the story. After a long and arduous climb,
Why isn't that hard?
for most of you it was. You arrive before the gates. A pale elf with black wings that seem to drain the light around you stands in front. The flesh that is visible beneath the black armor of this creature is gaunt and stretched over the bones. Despite this, the creature emanates an aura of pure strength and power. She holds herself high, standing at least 12 feet tall, and looking down at you from behind a mask of black metal in the shape of a raven's beak. She speaks to Zale. Welcome home again, Shadarkai. Have you come to join us as a Sorrowsworn? No, it is
Zale
not
looks
that
behind
time
him to
yet.
see whom she is addressing.
She is clearly looking directly at you.
My dear lady, I'm fairly certain you've got me mistaken for some other idiot bloke.
I can clearly see the mark of our queen upon your face.
Yeah, well, that don't mean I'm a shiver. What's it?
No, I suppose it is not that time again. A raven's cry rings through the quiet of the frozen waste as she pauses, listening for a moment. She then turns to regard the rest of the party. Ah, welcome, the rest of you, to the Fortress of Memories. The Raven Queen has been expecting you. I am Delatoth, leader of the Sorrowsworn. You are fated to enter and make your way to her. Do not despair. Do not give in to the sorrow of these memories. Otherwise, you will not make it to your destination.
Pretty sure whatever ghosts I've got on my past far outweigh whatever fancy light shows you've got going.
You get a sense of amusement from her.
That's right, I called you bluff. I love it.
Without another word, the gates behind her swing open, and she returns her gaze to the steps behind you, overlooking the land. The gates open to a long hallway, whispers echoing through them, too faint to make out as you proceed into the dark depths of the palace. As you walk through the gates, Zale's body seems to slump more than before, his features gaunt and withered, his fur turning a paler shade as his very strength seems to fail. Zale's voice echoes from the walls surrounding you, though it is different, a faint whisper, though stronger than the rest. That's your cue.
That's for the first one, or
The first
we've
one.
kind of mixed things around a bit. In that case, I'll need to find it.
Just use what's in your little thing you sent me.
Yes.
The transition, or no, I don't know. Oh, the ones that I sent you.
That's different then, isn't it? Scrolling up in a different menu then. There was born a boy, child of a whore, child of a lord, discarded bastard of the streets. His life was filled with pain, longing, and guilt, memories of strength, power to the Raven Queen. Upon his death, the Shadow Kai retrieved the boy's body. They retrieved his soul. It was brought before the Raven Queen and bade to obey. He was born again as Shadow Kai, child of a whore, discarded bastard. He became the servant of the Raven Queen and sent back to the mortal realm to serve, to obey, and to serve again. His lives have been many, but he has served long and served well.
Whoa.
Wait, so you're a cat. Multiple.
And we're all seeing this, or only him?
You are all hearing this. All you
So
can
wait, how
see
many
is
lives
a
have
long
you?
hallway.
So how many lives does he have?
Ha, cat joke.
Or is it a joke?
Considering he's not a cat.
He is a cat.
Yeah, he is. He's a
Oh,
lynx.
wait.
Yeah.
Derp, derp, derp. My fault.
Do you proceed?
Is there a choice?
Zale, you are feeling a tug forward.
His steps are reluctant, but they are inexorable.
I just realized I am on the very wrong playlist for this. This is way too upbeat and happy. Here we go. We'll go with this one. Probably won't be that much better, but it'll be better. Proceeding onward, the hallway begins to twist and turn. A pop rings in your ears as in the blink of an eye you are standing in an alley, darkened by both night and fog. A figure, cloaked and hooded, approaches a heavy wooden doorway set into the recess of a stone brick building. Its bulk old and splintered, but reinforced by dulled bands of iron. The figure raps a quick, precise pattern upon the door with its left hand, while the right cradles a cloth-wrapped bundle to its chest. The door swings open the barest crack. An old, tired blue eye peered out with wary suspicion. The cloaked figure draws back its hood to reveal slicked black hair, touched with gray framing a face bland and easily forgotten. The door opens further and a hand motions the cloaked figure inside. Whispered words are exchanged, escaping before the door closes. Where's this one from then? Old Itaya died in the birthing. No telling who the father was. The usual arrangement, then. Rear 'em up to be good and useful, and we'll buy 'em back when... The door clicks closed. Any further conversation cut short. The vision fades as the door closes. The alley melting... Sorry?
No, that was just Tato's reaction.
Oh. The alley melting away to leave only darkness and fog. Suddenly a patch of fog to your left swirls, seeming to coalesce into thousands of tiny snowflakes. The snowstorm clears, leaving an opening from which a faint glow beckons. Looking into its depths, you see an elderly Zale, dressed in flowing black robes and wielding eldritch powers to smite undead. Massive raven wings stretching from his back, and a flock swirling above him. The sky pale and dark, the land frozen and icy. As you watch, the undead swarm finally overwhelms the lynx, rolling over him in a wave of rotting flesh and brittle bones. And before he vanishes from view, a raven swoops down and plucks out his right eye, flying towards you. As it reaches the window, all seems to fade into fog and darkness.
I'm shivering.
Well, at least you go down fighting.
You're back in the hallway, and Zale, your Zale, is beside you once more. But his face is drawn as though in fright, and his gaze locked onto a point beyond you. Something pulls you to one direction, ever onward, ever deeper.
I give Zale a hug as we continue walking.
You give him a what?
Hug.
A hug.
Last time I've seen someone with that sort of expression, I believe smack upside the head. Well, you think he needs one now?
You find yourselves once more in the alley, the same one from the first vision. It is night again, but no longer dark. Roiling flames claw at the sides of the building, chewing their way along the roof and onto the adjacent structures. Suddenly, the old wooden door bursts open as dozens of small figures stumble out onto the street. They scatter in all directions, some fleeing together, a few falling down on the rough cobblestones to cry. Your eyes are caught by one in particular, though you cannot say why. It is smaller than most, scrawny and poorly dressed. You cannot see a face, for it has wrapped a tattered old scarf about its head to stave off the black smoke that fills the air. The figure darts down the street, then ducks into an even smaller alley and is lost from view. An old man stumbles out of the conflagration, his wispy white hair singed and smoking, the old blue eyes now shot with red from the smoke. Carrying 3 tiny forms in his arms, the man totters a few final steps from the door before collapsing on the ground, his wheezing breath coming more slowly with each repetition. The scene fades as he exhales for the final time, the street and buildings melting into the angry red light of the fire.
Oh man.
So how many times have you died again?
These are a series not necessarily of his deaths, or at least not all. You hang there briefly, caught in the featureless glow, and then the light seems to sharpen, the angry red receding to the warm yellow light of many candles. A room comes into focus, recognizably that of an inn. Zale lies before you, tucked into the bed. His body is old, frail, and he lets out a small, wheezing cough as you appear. Merriment can be heard through the doorway, but he seems to take no comfort in it. His left eye is glassy and white, blindness having long since set it, but the right eye remains the same, vivid red, undulled by age. Rook perches upon the right bedpost, staring down at the old lynx with the merciless eyes of death. You guys can interact with him.
Oh, you gotta poke him.
Is anybody there?
So is sorry, I'm also wrestling with a 2-year-old. Is our Zale still here, or did we lose our Zale and now we're just seeing old Zale?
He is vanishing from your view at the least. You do not see him with you here. The only Zale you know of that's here is this one. Lysian says, Zale, can you hear us?
The old figure will raise its head weakly, its blind gaze staring in the direction of the doorway.
I walk up and I kneel down next to him and grab one of his hands. And I ask how he got here.
I've been here for months, waiting for the end.
Did anyone else catch that? Because I did not understand that.
An old man, I think he said something about the end is coming.
He's not very intelligible right now. That whole I can barely breathe thing. Recognizable would be the question of who are you?
It's me, Shenzi.
Shenzi? Don't know Shenzi. Have I met you?
Shenzi, the hyena. I trying to buy your contract from the Raven Queen.
No one escapes the Raven Queen. You Ilias not. Is that who you are? I don't remember your face. Can't see it now.
I'm like trying not to cry over here. Well, Shenzi's trying not to cry.
Nim will lean up against Shenzi, reminding her of what Delatos said, not to give in to sorrow.
No, you're right. And this obviously doesn't have to be the future because it's not set in stone. We still have a long ways to go.
And technically, this isn't the Zale that's in front of us or somewhere around here.
I will stand up and kiss his hand and then walk away.
With a final cough, the Zale in the bed. Elysian says, already I'm going to assume Zale's lived multiple lives now in the service of the Queen.
That's why I said how many times has he died exactly.
Yeah, but your mic's too quiet. We can't hear you.
Ah.
And Elysian, I don't know why you're typing instead of talking, but okay.
Presumably background noise.
Probably. With a final cough. Oh, okay. With a final cough, Zale closes his left eye, the right remaining open and staring fixedly upon Rook. The bird leans down, plucking the eyeball from its socket with a raucous caw. You find yourself back in the hallway. Zale slumps against the wall, his eyes wide and his breath coming in labored pants. You are drawn further down the hall, the light dimming as you move, and then brightens suddenly ahead of you. You squint into the unmistakable light of day as you are standing in the dirty alleyway of a city. The air is wet and slightly chilled, the smell of the ocean not far. At the mouth of the alley is a slight figure dressed in rags, his back to you and a pair of pointed feline ears standing out in profile. He stares across the street outside to a small park. Mothers chatter, watching as children play. A baker cries to passers from beside his shop, exclaiming about his fresh-baked bread and offering samples from a platter. He stands near the entrance to the alley. You can hear the cat-child's stomach growl as he looks at the tray. Before you can react, he dashes out and grabs a loaf off of the tray, held by the baker, and dashes back into the alley, running into Shenzi in the front and falling over onto his rear. The baker shouts, lumbering into the alley, hampered by his bulk, and the boy scrambles back to his feet, looking at you with an almost feral wariness as he backs away, then bolts into a gap between two buildings. The image of the boy's face remains with you, however. While the fur patterns are different, something in the eyes, despite their matching crystalline blue color, makes you certain this is Zale. The
Hungry boy.
The sunlight dims, along with the shouts of the baker as he pursues the fleeing thief. The scents of the ocean, however, seem to grow stronger about you. Suddenly you can hear it as well, the swelling crash of waves and the creaking of ships' timbers. The scene coalesces about yet another Zale. This one is older than your own, but not so old as the other two you have seen. His fur longer, some gray creeping in along the edges. But his body is strong and his stance firm upon the deck. He is dressed in silks and leathers, both stained heavily by salt and water. A curved blade swings by his side, but it is the bow he wields now. The bow appears to be made of some blackened metal, the limbs forming the stylized wings of a raven. A veritable stream of arrows fly from the bowstring, each glowing with the unmistakable eldritch energies of his patron. The shafts fall among a horde of ghostly figures, seeming to walk along the surface of the waves, somehow finding purchase despite their ethereal forms. Laughing as he fires, Zale calls something inaudible to the crew cowering behind him. They begin to stir, perhaps driven at last to defense of their vessel, but too late. The entire ship shudders as a gigantic black shape coils out of the water from beneath, snapping rails and severing lines as it wraps around the bow. Zale loses his footing and begins to slide as the ship tilts upwards at an extreme angle, barely catching the ship's wheel as he passes. As he hangs there, single-handed grip slowly loosening, he seems to look up at you, the laughter gone from his face to be replaced by grim understanding. Behind him and beneath him, you see another form rise from the depths, a great maw filled with broken, gnashing teeth. The stench of undeath, rotting flesh, and grave dust overwhelms the fresh scents of the sea. The handle in Zale's hand snaps, and he falls, engulfed to the waist by the monstrosity below. As he screams out his agony, a darkly feathered form swoops from the overcast sky, and Rook plucks the right eye from his head with ruthless precision. The hallway returns, but the scream remains. It is your Zale this time, however, sunk now to his knees, the scream tearing itself rawly from his throat as he clutches a hand over his right eye.
So are you, like, reliving all of your deaths? That's gotta be torture.
Just the screams, yes.
Can somebody give me a quick rundown? Because I just had to AFK to take care of the kiddo, and apparently I missed how Zale lost his eye.
Where did you leave off?
The baker was chasing after you.
Okay, I will post those 2 paragraphs and you can read as we go on, maybe.
Thank you.
We'll give her a moment to read it. Basically, Zale was on a ship and a creature ate him. Rook flew down and plucked the right eye from his head.
Huh. So we know when he's going to die because of the raven coming and taking his... Oh, wait, no.
Damn it, character limit.
Send.
Lysian would go to slowly remove Zale's hand from his face.
There is no blood. The eye is still there, but he yet screams.
Zale, it's over.
Zale does not respond.
I'm still for knocking him unconscious. Does no one object?
Probably for his betterment.
Nah,
no,
let
I'm
him
not
scream
going
it
to
out. He'll
object.
be fine.
I object. He doesn't need any more torture.
Knocking someone else out isn't torture, milady. It's actually mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think a concussion is going to help.
Do we even know what concussion is?
If you have the heal skill, yes. Or medicine, I think it is in this one.
Let's see. I am not proficient in it, but I should know enough of a concussion. Seeing as I am a soldier.
Driven inexorably onward, you are pulled down the hallway, the screams of your companion fading with the light. You step into a bustling market square, the burble of 100 conversations washing over you with the soft patter of warm summer rain. As you look about, a sudden cry grabs your attention, and you turn to see an overweight noble pointing emphatically down the street and bawling for the guards at the top of his lungs. Flashes of movement through the crowd in that direction, moving towards a nearby alley. A rail-thin figure, taller now, but still dressed in the same ragged clothes you recall from the previous vision of the young Zale. He clutches something you cannot see close to his chest, skidding around the corner of the alley and scrambling into the darkness. Before you can move more than a few steps, he is back, running even faster out of the passage than he entered. Close behind him, you find the hulking figures of the Mole Master Guard, clad in heavy boiled leathers and chainmail. The young thief is faster than them, but he is already panting for breath as he dives into the crowded square. A brief glimpse of his face shows the same gaunt hunger, and he cannot have much strength remaining in his frail frame. As he nears your position, ducking around one of the larger stalls, a darkly clothed arm snaps out, collaring him into the shadows within. The guards rush past a moment later, missing the pair in their hiding. Once the sounds of clomping boots have faded, the man releases Zale, looking down to examine the youngling. As he does, you catch a glimpse of the face beneath the hood of his dark cloak. Bland features, dark hair, slicked back with touches of gray. A brief light of recognition flashes in the man's eyes, and he sounds thoughtful as he addresses Zale. Fast on your feet, and you've lived this long. First rule, boy, don't try and cut a noble's purse. Go for merchants. Some of them have their own guards, but the Zors only bother to chase you if your lord's involved. Now, ye look hungry, boy. How's about I take you back someplace you can get something to eat, and we talk about a little business-type proposition. The man places an arm around the young Zale, sheltering him from sight under his flowing cloak, as he leads them away from you and out of the market square. The sounds and sight of the market fade away, leaving only the rain, growing heavier until it has become a cold, drenching downpour. Suddenly you can make out shapes as the wall of water slackens slightly. Massive trees, shrouded in moss scattered about deep muddy pools, their surfaces dancing madly under the onslaught of raindrops. A sudden loud splashing from behind causes you to turn, and there is another Zale. This one is dressed in simple brown leathers under a forest green cloak. He holds two slightly curved short swords, clearly of elvish design, using them to fend off the whipping branches of what at first appears to be another of the trees. As you watch, Zale leaps back out of the water, and figures within bob from the waves of his movement. The unmistakably bloated bodies of zombies lie, slashed and dismembered all about. The tree moves, creaking towards the links. And you notice great, rotting rents in its wooden body, the stench of advanced decay seeming to stream off of the corrupted treant. The treant takes its first step onto the section of dry land, and as though he'd been waiting for just this, Zale darts forward in a burst of speed, slamming his dagger into the rotting wood. A burst of eldritch energy shocks.
Here's to new beginnings.
Where was I? And a burst of eldritch energy shock through the treant as the attack lands, and it begins to fall with a great splintering crash. As it does so, however, it turns towards its killer, opening a bark-encrusted maw wider and wider, as a belching swarm of gigantic flies pours from within. Crying out in sudden pain, Zale leaps back once more, swatting at the stinging insects. Finally, with a barked eldritch incantation, A blaze of fire washes from him, engulfing and consuming the insects in one fleeting instant. Panting, Zale drags himself out of the muddy water, his movements stiff and sluggish as he collapses onto his back in the muddy ground. His breathing slows as the earthy mud around him is gradually stained a brighter red. As the final light dims from his clear blue eye, a raven swoops from the nearby branches to land on his chest. Cocking its head and ruffling its wet feather indignantly, Rook's beak stabs down to take Zale's right eye, as the swamp seems to melt around you. Beside you in the hallway, Zale has begun to laugh, a hoarse, mad sound directed at the ground as his hunched shoulders shake uncontrollably. Cutting off abruptly, his voice begins to intone in a soft voice, lacking of any emotion.
Would you like me to repeat this one?
Go ahead and go with the next one.
Easier to skip it and go on, I would say.
Okay, repeat it. I need a break.
Fine. Deal. There was a boy, child of a whore, child of a lord, discarded bastard of the streets. His life was filled with pain, with longing, with guilt, memories of strength, power to the Raven Queen. Upon his death did the Shadar Kai retrieve the boy's body. Upon his death did the Shadar Kai retrieve the boy's soul. The boy was brought before the Raven Queen, and the Raven Queen the boy was bade to obey. The boy was born again as Shadar Kai, child of a whore, discarded bastard. The boy became the servant of the Raven Queen. By the Raven Queen was the boy sent back to the mortal realm, back to serve, back to obey, back to serve again. The boy's lives have been many, but the boy has served long. The boy has served well.
Glad to know Zale's a good worker.
I never said I suffered from unemployment. Self-employment, by the way, is a technical and applicable form of employment. It even has the word in the name and all of it.
Technically, doesn't that make you different from the original?
You're not wrong.
As I'm sure this world has never heard of cloning.
The haunting words seem to follow you as you continue down the hallway, always just barely audible no matter how loud your footsteps. As the light fades, they are all you can hear. The darkness does not fade back to light this time, and yet you make out a room. There is no light, but somehow you can see the fine furnishings. A massive 4-poster bed, intricately carved dressers and chests, a tall stand mirror. The curtains over the window twitch suddenly and are pulled aside, allowing silvery moonlight to stream in. The light is quickly followed by a furtive form dressed in tight, black clothing. As it lands nimbly on the floor, you see the features of the young Zale Argent. He is taller again, perhaps as old as 11 or 12 now, and for once looks slender rather than thin. The lines of his face fleshed out by what must have been at least a year of steady meals. Reaching back up to the window, Zale catches an empty leather pack, placing it behind him before turning once more to help another young figure clamber, much less gracefully, through the portal. Without a word, the two begin searching the room, rifling through drawers and opening the chests. They do not seem to see any of you as they go about their work. Suddenly, Zale grunts, a small, satisfied sound. The other youngling turns to look at what he has. It is a ring, glinting gold even in the filtered light of the moon, and set with a large, sparkling gem of indeterminable color. Leaving the ornate dresser open behind him, the other boy moves slowly over to Zale, speaking in a hushed, almost reverent whisper. "Cor, that's a pretty piece of work. Even we don't tell Kellum about it, we could sell that and live like kings for months." Zale shifts, lowering the ring as he turns to face his companion.
But Callum always finds out when one of us tries to keep things from him, and he whips good after.
Suddenly, a dagger appears in the other boy's hand, and he pointing the blade towards the lynx as a snarl enters his voice. "You never had any guts, Zale. Give me it, and I won't spill your guts and leave 'em here to prove it." Shaking his head mutely, Zale stumbles backwards, away from the advancing lad and his knife. As the other boy lunges forward towards Zale, the lynx reaches backwards to grab the first thing that comes to hand, a short, straight letter opener. The aggressive lad impacts with Zale, and the two go tumbling over the carpets. When their motion halts, Zale is on top, and the other isn't moving. Zale scrambles off to reveal the ornate hilt of the letter opener sticking from the lad's chest like the mast of some forlorn ship. Sudden shouts from the floor below jerk Zale from his frozen horror, and he dashes away to jump out of the window into the moonlit night. The scene blurs, but does not vanish completely. This time, refocusing instead upon a smaller, grimy room, lit by a single sputtering candle. Zale is standing before a weathered wooden desk, still dressed in the tight, dark clothing. A dark stain glistens wetly along his front. A man, bland face, dark hair slicked back with touches of gray, sits in a rickety chair behind the desk. He speaks to Zale. "So, you tell me that you alerted the family and came away with nothing to show for it? And where's Chandler then?" Looking down towards the floor, Zale stammers in his reply.
He was caught. By then woke, he had a bag with the flute, so...
The man eyes the stain on Zale's clothing, and his face hardens. But then he examines the downcast face of the young lynx and shakes his head in resignation. "An idiot's gonna be an idiot. He was bound to die someday. Too quick to draw, too stupid to think." Zale flinches at the man's words but does not speak. As the man, Kellum, opens his mouth once more, the door bangs open, and a tall man with artistically tasseled blonde hair strolls inside. "Kellum, the cloaks ambushed Derek, and as he was leaving the wench tonight, and Bert and Artemis killed one of their lieutenants before anyone could stop them. It's begun, and we'll need every man on deck. Time to pay our dues." Kellum's mouth drops open at the other man's words. Then his gaze sharpens, landing on Zale once more. "My due, eh? Well, start with this one. He'll need training, but he's already shred blood tonight. Should fit right in with you, Zents." The light fades once more as the tall, blond man turns down to examine the now clearly frightened Zale before him, taking him by an arm and pulling him outside into the moonlight. Need a moment, sorry. The moonlight grows, washing away the room about you before receding once again. Now you are on an empty expanse of white sand, lit with an almost ethereal glow, as the dunes roll to a seemingly endless horizon. Movement catches your eyes, and you spy 3 figures trudging towards you along the lee of an especially large dune. As they grow near, you begin to make out features in the remarkably bright light, and they cannot be those of the living. 3 tall, shambling bodies, swathed in rotting bandages, red light seeming to gleam from the shadowed recesses where eyes should be. Suddenly, the sand seems to explode under their feet as a figure bursts from hiding. Swathed in his own lengths of cloth, Zale is barely recognizable, but he wields the 2 curved khopesh with the skill of a lifetime of practice. The fight is short but brutal. 2 of the figures are sliced down in a matter of moments, unable to respond to the lightning-fast attacks. The third seems to be stronger, however, easily blocking or dodging every attempt to reach it. Finally, Zale overextends, and one bandage-wrapped hand shoots out to grab his face. Zale retaliates, first removing the hand at the wrist with one blade, then the creature's head with the other. As he regains his feet, however, he stumbles, dropping his blades to hold his head in suddenly shaking hands. The curse takes only a minute to reach near full effect, the portions of face visible beneath the cotton turban shriveling and tightening about the lynx's skull as all strength leaves his body. Zale falls to the sand then, his left eye shriveling into an empty socket, while the right remains, seemingly untouched. A dark shape blots out the moonlight above the body briefly, and amidst a flutter of black feathers, the eye is plucked away to leave 4 desiccated corpses, slowly vanishing under the eternal flow of wind-borne sand. Zale's voice fills the hallway once more as you return, his face turned towards the ceiling, the rictus smile stretched across tight lips, recalling images of that dried face so recently seen.
The boy was given no shelter. The boy was given no respite. The boy served at the whim of the Raven Queen, and at the whim of the Raven Queen was the boy sent to do her bidding. The boy served the Raven Queen, and the Raven Queen gave the boy life. The life belongs to the Raven Queen.
Kind of questioning why we're being shown this. It's interesting nonetheless.
You are being dragged into Zale's memories, or rather through them, from various lives that he has lived in the past.
Should consider himself lucky he gets to live multiple lives. While most of us only get one.
If you were a member of the superior race, you too could have 9 lives.
Superior.
Wait, so how many have we gone through? So many?
Superior race, sure.
We've gone through 5, huh? Right.
Sure.
Yes, you've gone through 5.
Yeah, I was right. Yay.
So is there a limit on this, or is it just so long as your god's alive?
Depends on the god.
I know this isn't the most entertaining for the rest of you in the
Be right
group,
back.
but do give me a moment. I'm gonna go on a small intermission, let Shenzi get back and recover my voice a little bit. You guys can feel free to talk amongst yourselves, so not gonna mute it. Just need to get some water real quick. It'll be less than 5 minutes.
Two hours later.
Oh god.
So, like, do you remember everything when you're reborn again, or how does that work?
I'm going to apply a LAFO tag on that.
I'm going to speculate that he doesn't remember at first, but when Rook comes, that's when he remembers.
Most excellent speculation. Unfortunately, I can neither confirm nor deny at this moment.
And I'm going to say that most of these memories we're actually viewing may or may not be Rook's perspective. Unless that's just how memories work, because that's how none of my memories work.
There is an overarching rule which trumps all others. Magic.
Of course.
That is true. Well, mostly because it's like, how do we get these perspectives? Zale would only remember jumping out of the building or getting stabbed right there.
There's another universal law in all forms of media. Laziness on the part of the writers. Never underestimate the laziness on the part of the writers. Or game developers. I mean, come on, universal here.
Sometimes the game devs. Only for bad games.
Johnson.
EA.
Yeah, basically. I was working on my own game project, which I'm going to have to... actually, no, I shouldn't mention that yet. I can't really be lazy for it.
I've been ignoring my current project for the last 3 weeks or so. Yeah.
So I'm going to say that at some point Rook comes to him, he's reminded of his purpose and of his servitude to the Raven Queen. And his soul is actually contained within the right eye. I think that end rare, but I don't think that's how it works because I don't think that I just have to disagree with that because every time we've seen Zale die, Rook's been there to pluck out the eye. Oh, he did? I forgot. Oh, okay. Maybe. I still don't think that's the right thing. Anybody else?
Anybody
Yes,
else?
no.
What?
Thoughts? Comments? Scared?
I don't know. I was
How close are
AFK for a minute, so I
I'm not
missed.
scared.
You didn't really miss anything. We're on break. We're just we're left with our mics open for theorizing and rambling, I suppose.
Oh yeah, now the title of the stream makes sense. And I guess given the fact that Rook didn't pluck his eye out on his last death, that one technically doesn't count.
Every time he has died, his eye has been plucked.
Even the last death in the ocean or sea.
Yes,
Oh,
I did say that.
oh, I see.
Alright, ready to go. Sorry about that, guys. I just needed to get a few drinks of water.
You better be sorry.
You know, we could take the next session to do a thorough re-examination of Tato's family tree. Do a making of episode.
Oh, God.
Bad.
I like this idea.
Bad.
I mean, we are in the Hall of Memories. Not all of them have to be Zales.
Bad.
Oh,
I
we
wish
have
I
a-
had thought of that sooner. I should have done something like that. Oh well. We're already running close to our time, so let's continue. As the world focuses around
shall
you,
see me. Though my battle cry may give me away.
Oh, God.
the blue cat appears again before Elysian.
Don't put another sticker on me.
Another sticker being slapped onto his other cheek with a fantastic job. A man question the basically the thinking emoji on it, the wondering one, as it just took him so long to recognize the reason for the title.
I'm sorry, I was focused on listening to the story, the actual story for most of this.
What
I'm
tact?
sorry that I'm the only one that mentioned it.
As the world focuses around you, you find yourself in a small room filled with books and scrolls. A study. A man sits at the desk, a cloak heavily embroidered laid across the chair back. He moves his hand, playing idly with the flame of the candle, causing it to roar up with one gesture, then dance and twist before dying back down. He seems bored, and the derisive sneer stamped across his face seems a permanent fixture. He does not seem to notice you standing nearby. A sudden noise at the door causes the man to jerk forward in his seat. When no one answers, the man mutters under his breath, moving towards the door to open it and check outside. As he turns, a shadow flows in through the open window. A black hooded figure materializes behind the mage. Finding no intruders outside the room, the man shuts the door and begins to turn around. The dagger pierces the man's back, right behind the left lung. The man jerks as he struggles to breathe, to turn, to do anything but spasm helplessly, and the hood is knocked back from his assailant's face. It is Zale. Perhaps he is now as old as 15. His eyes are cold chips of blue ice as he leans in to whisper in the man's ear.
Don't worry, that venom's right powerful stuff. Should take away all the pain in just a few moments. Not like that spell you used on Hooper. He took hours to die. But that's no concern of yours now. You just sleep.
The mage spasms once more, then is still, empty eyes staring sightlessly into Zale's. Letting the body fall to the floor, Zale cleans his dagger carefully on the heavy cloak before sheathing it. As he does, his hand brushes a small lump in one pocket, and he reaches in to pull out a golden ring capped by a dark, glimmering ruby. Contemplating the item for a long moment, Zale speaks, directing his words towards the corpse.
If you're gone, I reckon we've won this war. Might as well have anyway.
Zale replaces the ring in his pocket before slipping out the window and into the night. The room seems to warp around you, stretching and elongating. The heavy wooden bookshelves replaced by the stark stone walls. The desk by a row of low cots made up with sterile white sheets. A woman stands before you, speaking to a figure lying in one of the beds. The figure is Zale. The left side of his face is a mess of bandages, and blood stains the white sheet over his body in multiple places. He is old as well, if not quite so old as the Zale in the second vision. But all of the fur you can see is gray with age, except that one patch over the half-lidded right eye. The woman's words finally come into focus, becoming both audible and intelligible. Man who found you lying amidst that pile of rotting corpses in the middle of the village, can you tell me how you came to be there? There is no response from the recumbent Zale, and the woman continues, her tone not far short of accusatory. My mages assure me that you do not possess necromantic powers, but they say you are a wielder of the arcane, and no permit of entry was found among your possessions. What was your business in our country? What master do you serve? Were you aligned with the undead who attacked that village? The woman is growing frustrated by the lack of answers, but Zale's eye suddenly widens as he draws one long, rattling breath, then lies still once more, chest no longer rising. The woman frowns, beginning to call to someone over her shoulder, when a dark streak swoops down from the rafters, pausing just long enough for a single caw, and a wet squelch as the right eye of Zale Argent is claimed once more by Rook. The scene fades about you as a string of invectives spur from the woman's lips. In between calls for someone to catch that bloody bird. Zale's eyes are as wide as they can go now, and an odd keening can be heard under the words as he continues to chant.
All things happen as fate decrees. All that has occurred, all that will occur, all are known to the Raven Queen. Her power is death. Her knowledge is fate, her dominion is winter. Life comes to an end, new life rises again. One small life has little strength, small strength can be directed. One small life, well directed, a difference can make. The boy belongs to the Raven Queen, the boy is hers for eternity. It is the boy's fate.
You are back in the small room. Oh, go ahead.
Sounds like she's trying really hard to show us that we cannot have Zale.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. You are back in the small room with the splintered desk. Kellam sits behind it, perched atop the same rickety chair. Zale walks in, no knock. He is older, his clothes of newer make. Without preamble, he tosses the small golden ring onto the table with a flash of ruby light.
There. I paid my services to the Zent, and that's done. Now here's this. Payment for services rendered.
Zale turns to walk away, stopping only for a moment when the other man speaks. What will you do then, boy?
I'll make my own way again. If I need help, I'll pay for it. I'm done with others for now.
Zale departs the room, leaving Callum with a thoughtful look on his face, rolling the ruby ring between his fingers as the scene fades into silence. Wind is the next sound you hear, low and whistling as it plays across the ramparts of what appears to be a castle wall. A figure lies slumped against the stones. The figure is Zale. He wears rich clothing, a flowing cape heavily embroidered in golden thread, and a shining silver rapier lies beside him. His fine clothing is covered in blood. Some of it is not his, and his leg is twisted painfully underneath him. A man walks into your view. He is limping heavily. His cloak bears the stylized symbol of a wicked mace, its head formed from a human skull. The man looks down upon Zale, his young face twisted with pain and hatred. A raw, ragged scar running down the left side and twisting across his mouth still drips blood. Speaking with difficulty, the man raises an iron-cast replica of the mace on his cloak. You've caused us a lot of trouble today, little mortal. Orcus will have his vengeance. Zale pants, a look of contempt on his face as he glares up at the man, spitting at his feet. The man snarls wordlessly, and the mace descends with a sickening crunch. The man starts backwards as a flock of ravens burst from behind the wall, and one perches just long enough to pluck out a single red eye. Sorry, Shedzy.
Why are you apologizing to me?
I saw your message in the chat.
Oh.
Zale's words seem to echo about the hallway now, despite never rising in volume, and his entire body trembles visibly, every muscle straining.
The boy deals in death. The boy deals in trickery. Such is the boy's fate. The boy serves and the boy serves. Child of a whore, the boy is discarded. Bastard given purpose. A true fate. A fate for the good of all worlds. There is no true end, only death that gives way to new life. Their eternal rest should not be disturbed.
Don't teach my hamster to suck eggs.
But I mean, if you pay me not to, then I will personally ensure that none of my associates do so. Unless they do it behind my back, which you know I can't stop, and no refunds.
Anir? Okay. The blue cat appears once more, giving kind of a wake-up slap to Zale. A faint voice saying, Zale, get a hold of yourself, before it disappears.
For that, I'll say that his face twitches and the left eye, not the right, almost looks down at where the cat was. But the muscles are still too tense to actually move.
You are in a city again, on an open street this time. Zale walks along, the Zale you know, almost. He is the same age, he wears the same clothes, but his eye is blue. A bag heavy with the clink of coins swings in his hand. Almost, he looks happy. As he passes the dark opening of an alley, a figure suddenly leaps from the shadows. Before the thief can react, the figure's blade, a long, wicked dagger with a wavy blade, pierces his back, striking through the heart with expert ease. Gasping, Zale manages to draw his own dagger offhanded, slamming it down into the figure's arm. In an odd reflection of your previous viewing of Zale, the hood falls away from the assailant's head, revealing a pointed face, now lined by gray hair, but still recognizable by the twisting scar down one side and across the mouth. The man, servant of Orcus, whispers almost lovingly into Zale's ear as his lifeblood trickles away. Well now, it seems we were able to catch you this time. Let your mistress know that Orcus sends his regards. With no further ceremony, the man tips Zale's body over the edge of the walk and into the turgid waters of the canal below, water slowly turning red with lifeblood. As the cultist turns away, a black feathered form alights on the back of Zale's body, cocking its head to gaze down at him. Zale's mouth does not move, his chest does not rise and fall with breath, and yet you hear his voice whispering across the hall.
The Raven Queen owns Zale, a new Shadow Kai bot to serve, bot to obey. The Raven Queen will not relinquish her servant to the bringer of undeath. Death is natural, it is not to be feared. Death comes to all in the end. Every being is fated to die, every mortal, every god, only death is eternal.
At last you find yourselves in a large chamber. A massive, pale elf sitting on a throne. As you enter, a soul falls through the air to burst onto the floor before the Raven Queen's seat in an eruption of light and mist. In an instant, it regains its mortal form and sinks to its quavering knees before the goddess of death. The Raven Queen seems to take no interest in its plight. Her face impossible to read, she fixes her gaze upon it, searching its features in silent judgment before the being simply vanishes into mist again. She is magnificent upon her throne, looking upon your party with disapproval. In her hand is a small cage, in which are 7 eyes, all staring at you with vivid red gazes. She speaks, her voice beautiful and powerful, ringing clear through the chamber. You wish to take my servant from me, Raiser of Undeath? Let us discuss.
Okay.
And with that, we are done for the evening.
I finally get to talk to her and we're done!
It's okay.
Welcome to my pain.
Breathe.
It's been weeks!
Breathe. It's okay. You'll have your turn.
Yes, you will.
I'm gonna go cry.
No, don't give in to the sorrow.
Too late.
Here, have pain chips.
Yay!
Before we do misconvene, is Zale released from his paralytic shock?
He is.
And then he slumps to the floor sobbing.
Hmm.
Sobbing raggedly. Ooh, let's use adjectives, yes.
You had to relive a bunch of deaths.
So about that
that
other
down.
whole the memory trip, can we get that on the way out?
Oh, I am sure I can arrange something for Tato.
Oh my.
Oh, it'll be fun. Anyways, thank you everybody for joining us for this session of Fists of Furry Dungeons and Dragons. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'm sorry to the rest of the party. I know it wasn't that interesting, or entertaining.
I promise Zale will step back for a bit and one of you take lead. He won't even make smummy comments for 45 seconds. If you pay him 5 gold.
Buy yourself.
Elysian's a kleptomaniac, but somehow Zale's greed outweighs Elysian's.
Guys, I will be back in just a few minutes with some... Give it a little gift to Zale there.
With some what? You gotta finish your sentences, man.
I will be back in just a few minutes with some more 2 Point Hospital. I figure after that depressing bit, we should have some more lighthearted fun.
Lighthearted fun in a sterile, clean environment where the screams and agony of people dying from various illnesses can be heard.
Don't forget the ghosts.
The
ghosts are a thing.
ghosts.
Yeah, they're a thing. They will be there, I'm sure.
Isn't 2 Point Hustle like a remake of Theme Hospital or something?
It is a spiritual successor.
Oh boy, I need to go pick it up then because I never played the first one.
Or come watch my stream and enjoy it with me, and then go pick it up. Anyways, thank you all so much for joining. Remember to hit that follow button, subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, ring that notification bell and come join us on Twitch where we stream it live every Friday. Or at least most Fridays. Yes, Lady Divine, you are welcome to come join the voice channel for that. And yeah, I bid you all a momentary adieu.
Bye.
Bye. Don't put on weird, mysterious rings.